Welcome back. So let's go ahead and do the setup for our project. It's going to be very similar to the Movie Quotes app that I assume that you've already done. All right, so let's start off by going up to the developers console. All right, so console.developers.google.com, and we'll go in and we want to set up our project. So you can see here I've already set up a grade recorder myself, but remember we're just going to click the create project, and what you can do is type in grade recorder, name it whatever you like really, and the project ID again is the one that matters. So you're typically going to use your username, and then you're going to use let's use grade-recorder on this guy. It's gonna complain for me here because I already have that one. If I put in a 1, it'd be fine. You won't need to do that. All right. So go ahead and create that project with the project ID. All right. You can keep that open if you want. We're going to be using it a little bit later, or you can close it up, kind of up to you. And I'd like us to get the starting code, right? So we're going to go ahead and download a web client here. So we're going to do it from GitHub. All right, so GitHub, and we'll go into Android course material, right? And actually, it might remember it from where you grabbed stuff before. So we have this Rose mobile endpoints, and it's actually not course material. That's not the one we want to go to. We want to go down to grade recorder backend, right? So Rose mobile endpoints, grade recorder backend, and you can go ahead and download that zip if you'd like, and stick it wherever you want. I had already done this and unzipped it, so you can go ahead and unzip that as well. We'll kind of skip the step of working everything through Google App Engine and then Eclipse. We're just going to take the starting code and just kind of import it into Eclipse. So once you get it unzipped, go ahead and bring up Eclipse, import this guy since it already has that. So import existing projects into Workspace, and navigate to the same place. Okay, so yeah, since we already have the dot project in there for you, then it's definitely the right thing to import it. Let's go ahead and peek at what we have. So we're going to have an app.yaml. I'm going to go ahead and open this with a text editor. Oops, not the system editor. Misclick. Open with text editor. And probably one of the first things that you're going to want to do is to change what it says under application here. You'll notice that it says your username right now as the beginning. Go ahead and, if you would, change that to whatever you had typed in, whatever you registered in the developers console. All right, so done. And let's see, what else am I going to do here? So these guys look okay. Handlers look okay. I'll have to come back for endpoints in a bit. We'll take care of that later. All right, so I think that's okay. We have a main.py here that I think we could run it. We could even run this guy in localhost. So a little bit more complex than what we saw before. Again, it has multiple classes here, and the handler's a little bit longer. And here's for a post, and again we have different conditions for the different the different classes of data that they could be entering. So let's go ahead and run this guy. So I'm going to right-click on the project and do run as PyDev Google App Run, and we'll watch in the console. Let this guy come up here, and it actually isn't going to do really any authentication on the back end. When we're testing in localhost, but we'll see. We'll see. Basically how it works. So I'm going to go ahead and bring this guy up and go to localhost 8080 since I'm running from Eclipse. And again, it's starting us off with a fresh set of data here, because it's never been run on localhost. So let's go ahead and do this. So I'd encourage you try a few different things. Mine actually already logged in with bautel@gmail.com. Up to you whether you want to log in with your actual data. It's not really using it quite yet. All right, so I'm going to add a student. And go ahead. Chrome is remembering all my things here, so I'm going to add myself, and I'll be team 17 here, and I'll click OK, and so that it doesn't show up here because there's no way to view this. Let's see, if you want to add another student, you can. All right, so Joe Smith, who's going to be Smith J, I don't know, Smith J9, and Joe is my teammate, right? Also on Team 17. So we get Joe there. Go ahead and add an assignment or two. So maybe we have something like Lab 1, all right, and then I can add another, maybe Lab 2. All right, and then if I want to add in grade entries, now we have some things to populate the spinners, right? So you should notice the labs that you typed in or whatever you called your assignments, and then the students that you used. So I'm going to give myself a score on Lab 1 of 100, add the grade entry, and that should show up here. Let's go ahead, let's see, what else do we want to do? Let's add an entry. Let's for Lab 2, I only got a 90 on that guy. And maybe on Lab 1, if I go here, maybe Joe got a 95 on that one. All right, and I'll add that guy. And let's see what we got. So Lab 1, all right, you see that we both show up here. Names and usernames. Click Lab 2, and only I show up. And that's really all that we need to know to use the web client, right? If I wanted to sign out, all right, that would be no problem. I could use the sort of standard one here. Don't worry about administrator or not. If I log in, you'll notice that I should have totally different data. Where I could add a student here. So if I add, I don't know. So I'll add my son here. No username yet, but he will probably be. He'll be Bautel JM when the time comes, and we'll put him on Team 22, and we'll click OK. And then if I add in a grade entry, right, so he shows up here. All right. Now if I'm logged in as test.example.com and I log out, if I want to go back in as Gmail and log in, you'll notice that it's stored by username. Okay, so that is the whole idea behind our starting code. When we come back, we're going to go ahead and dig into our models object and actually turn these guys into endpoints models, right? All right, see you for that one.